merriment.
Survival for expats.
In the concrete forest.
On Friday nights.
Hi guys, welcome back to You Can't Sit With Us, the weekly show where we get wasted. Woo! All right, so we've come to...
In tune.
Oh, that was beautiful. We've come to segment 4 of the night. How are we feeling on this wine?
This wine is not great, I'm not going to lie.
It's not fabulous.
Sometimes it's good. I don't know. I feel like we get different bottles. Or it depends. It depends.
It's a monster glass.
If it's cold, it's good.
It was good. Okay. Oh. Can I talk about what I found hilarious?
Yes, you can.
So there was a plane taking off from Milwaukee in the US.
Milwaukee? Where is that? What state
I have no idea.
Somewhere weird.
Somewhere.
Midwest,
apparently the pilot got on board and he was really pissed off, and what they do in the US is the pilot comes out of the cockpit before the takeoff and gives you a little talking to, and he pretty much said that all the passengers should get to know the person they're sitting next to, because they're going to be flying into horrific tornadoes and it's going to be very turbulent. And apparently he just dropped it and they just stormed into the cockpit and slammed the door.
Why did he say that?
They're not sure. Apparently they're investigating it.
Maybe he was on drugs.
I think he might have just been pissed off about, I don't know, maybe there was a delay or something.
Why would you risk your job like that? Because being a pilot is a pretty good job.
And also you
do a lot of training. He's not qualified for anything else, really.
But his one job is to just make passengers feel safe.
And also, yeah, pilots, okay, they don't really do shit. They press a button, and then it's like they've got to take off and land.
And you go down.
It's autopilot.
Yeah. You're
Fun
there.
fact, guys, stop worshipping them.
You're there to monitor to see if anything goes wrong, not tell everyone on board
everything is going wrong.
It was like that. Was it the AirAsia flight recently that the whole plane was vibrating, and the pilot came over and was like, "I need everyone to pray that we get back safely." It's like, no, but. Another part of news that I wanted to talk about. This is what I wanted to ask your opinion on, because I know you feel very strongly about social justice.
Yeah. Not that strongly anymore.
Okay.
No, less concerned.
Well, more I appreciate your thoughts on this.
Okay.
So in Disneyland in Florida, I think it's in, they had a special Princess Day. So the whole idea was that you bring your kids and they dress up as a princess, and you get to meet other princesses. Really cute. A little boy showed up dressed as Elsa, and he was denied entry. Because
it's ridiculous.
Do you think that's, tell me about it.
It's totally ridiculous. Why? Why would you be...
Because they said it was a little girl's Princess Day.
But that's bullshit. Why should it be? There's plenty of little boys. Why shouldn't they? Why are princesses a girl thing? Well, it's fairy tale. It's, it's princess stories with all sorts of elements to it. It's not just oh, she's pretty and I like her dress. And even if it is that,
who cares? Well, it's like us if you had a little daughter who wanted to go to a party dressed as Spider-Man.
Or is that
so bad?
I mean, I had... Okay, so this is an extreme version of this. Because I used to do children's party entertainment. And this is the weirdest thing I've ever had. So I already think it's silly that you separate these two things into genders, right? I think it's silly that you think that certain things are for boys and certain things are for girls. You like what you like. They're kids. Who cares? You're not going to turn your kid gay if your kid's going to be gay anyway. That's
he's born gay. You're born that way. It's not going to change.
It's not going to change anything. So what do they have to glean from this experience? You just upset a kid. You ruined his day. He's gone all the way to Disneyland.
He's so excited. He was dressed as Elsa. That's so exciting. He had his little Elsa costume on.
But as a children's party entertainer, the weirdest thing I ever had, I was doing kids party and I was doing face painting, and this little boy came up to me and he's like, "I want to be a cat," and his mom said, "Cats are for girls," and I was like, wait, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, "Get a dog," and I was like,
you can't paint.
Are you gendering animals?
Is that do people... I feel like when I was little, I used to think that we used to have a female dog and a male cat, so I actually thought it was the other way around. But fine, yeah. you kind of associate, and that's fine, but this little boy...
It's fine, if you're a kid, right? You're like, oh, dogs and cats. I don't know, because I don't know, when I was a kid, I was always like, all cats are girls and all dogs are cats.
You kind of just... But it's not like you look like you're like, oh, this is a sub-superior species.
Well, yeah, because I had a cat that was a girl, and then I thought all cats were girls. But anyway, because you don't know about mating and all of this, you sort of arbitrarily assign genders, and yeah, it was just very weird. And I said, we can have a cat if you want, and she was like, no, totally shut down. And
it's weird.
Yeah, it was kind of sad if you're like that with your kid.
It's a little bit like, It's kind of like they're going to be a kid for that long. You're a kid for what, 10 years of your 100-year life, we'll just say.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Santa. I used to hate the kids at school. You know, they'd be like, oh, my parents told me Santa wasn't real and I was really young because I'm a grown-up. See, there you go. To me, that's terrible because I'm like, fuck it. Let them think that there's a fat man coming down their chimney.
I disagree with that.
Why do you think it's bad?
My cousins believed in Santa way too late.
How late were they?
Like, I'm talking like 8 years old, still believing in Santa.
It's not.
Or like.
Okay, are you ready for how old my sister was?
Oh yeah.
She's 12. She's 12 years old and she still believed in Santa.
Oh, Ella. Oh, baby.
But still, to me, I think it's the fun in it. You know what I mean? Like.
Okay, but this is what I have against it. So, my cousins, I think they all found out at once. So there's 3 of them, one family. And I think one was 11, one was 10, the other was 8 when they all found out. But this made Christmas such a big production for all of us. So the night before we'd have to like do all this crazy shit. I'm like, my family goes all out, like footprints on the window from reindeers, and like all of this,
carrots
and carrots.
Yeah.
And then when we're opening presents on Christmas Day, and like they have to write everything from Santa. All the presents. So like my grandmother gets me a really nice perfume. I can't thank her in front of the and it was ridiculous. Like it was to the point because I'd know like she'd got it for me. And they'd be like, oh, thanks so much, Patricia. And they'd be like, my aunt would be like, you mean Santa Claus? And I was like, you're behaving like an insane person.
See, I think we did a little bit differently. So my parents would go and wrap Santa's presents differently. And then that was it. So maybe like 50% of the presents would be from mum and dad, and then all family friends it'd be like from your auntie, blah blah blah, which I kind of liked because it was that sort of cheeky. I do remember looking at the label once from Santa, and it said from Target, and I was like,
how rude.
And I asked my mum, and I was like, it says it's from Target, and she was like, oh yeah, they do that. You know, they make it like that in the North Pole just to make it look real. I believed it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was literally like, oh, that makes sense.
So for me, I was like 2 or 3. I was really young. And I actually remember, I must have been 3 or 4 then, actually, because if I remember the exact moment.
Yeah.
We were in our old house, and my mom was brushing my hair. And I think a friend at kindergarten, or somebody had told me Santa Claus wasn't real. And I went to her, I went, Mommy, Santa Claus isn't real. And she went, yeah, I know. I was like, oh.
You would have been more disturbed if she was like, what? No. What did you just...
She was like, yeah, it's obvious. And I went, because I expected her
to go, oh, no, don't be... Yeah,
I believed in the Tooth Fairy quite late. Well, not late.
Tooth Fairy's a cute one because it's less like, it's not a Santa Claus. It's kind of like just this person that like takes your little teeth and like gives you a little present to say good girl. I loved it.
So I did that. So this is the reason that I was like, Tooth Fairy nailed it. Like she knows. So Alex and I, my brother, we were eating corn on the cob, and you know how there's some of those white kernels.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a tooth. Ha!
I've got you, Tooth Fairy. So I was muttering with my brother. I said, I'm going to trick the Tooth Fairy. I'm going to get some free money. And I get this, it's white kernel, and I put it under my pillow. And obviously my mother had had me plotting with Alex, right? So I get under my pillow. This is actually one of the moments when my mom was like a really good parent, right? So I wake up in the morning and I got a stack of Monopoly money and a note saying, do you think you can trick me? I am the Tooth Fairy. I see all. I know all.
Ah, yes, that's a parenting win.
It was really good.
Holy shit, dude. That's really fantastic.
Yeah, it was really fucking
Oh my god.
It was like one of my best childhood memories.
So
and I was like, she knows.
Oh, see, I outsmarted the Tooth Fairy. My tooth fell out, and I didn't tell anyone.
That's how I found out finally.
Yeah, I must have been like 12 or like quite old. You know what I mean?
I was like 8.
I just remember that I was old enough to be like,
because I knew Santa wasn't real, and like some people like Santa isn't real. I'm like, I know, and they're like Tooth Fairy isn't real. I'm like, you guys are being stupid. I tried to trick the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, you're like,
caught me.
My dad used to do this thing where he'd put like,
I got that note somewhere because it was really funny.
Put like icing sugar from like fairies, and I remember one morning I woke up and I had my tooth there, and he put money where my tooth was, and then he had a little bag of icing sugar. And I was like, what's that? And he was like, oh, I found it. It's from the Tooth Fairy, but I put it in the packet. And it was only like a year ago that I was like, you know what? I think he was just too lazy to sprinkle it. And he kind of just turned around and he was like, look what I found.
Clean it. Well, because my mom was a children's party entertainer. She always pulled out all stops and like did like crazy stuff. Like
everything.
With, like, Tooth Fairy, and there'd be glitter all over the room, and there'd be, you know, like so she was not a great parent in many ways, but in that she kept the magic, and like, you know, even after she told me Santa Claus wasn't real, she'd like keep it alive for my brother. But there's one thing I remember. So we were like, oh, let's leave out milk and cookies to Santa Claus. And she's like, Santa Claus prefers whiskey.
It's just like,
so
Santa Claus likes a nice gin and tonic.
Yeah, she's obviously my mother. She was like, likes whiskey, and also she likes crisps. He likes crisps because my mom doesn't like sweet food. She's like, oh, I don't want to eat the cookies.
Oh, so cute. Do you have that thing on in Australia on TV, Christmas night? Christmas Eve, sorry. All news programs around 8 o'clock will have an emergency broadcast that Santa has been sighted entering the Australian. And that every year it'd happen, and they'd say, you know, all children are now warned it's time to go to bed, and they have like little computer animation of like Santa coming in to land at the airport, and they're like bringing him in, and he's kind of like waving, and then they're like, you know, this is your 10-minute warning, parents, make sure your kid's in bed because Santa's about to arrive. And then one year Mum was out of the room and I saw that and I was like
stayed up.
And half an hour later Santa still wasn't there, and then I woke up and Santa was. So is it magic?
It was. The US does. So the Navy, they have like a proper Navy website, and where they track Santa where he is all around the globe.
Oh, that's so cute.
I only knew about this because of my much too old cousins who believed I had found this website. Okay, so they're old enough to use a computer, and you could just Google. I wonder what happens if you Google is Santa Claus real?
We'll Google after the show and let you guys know, pretty much. But I feel like if a child believes in, they're not going to say, is Santa Claus real? They're going to be like, how do we know where he is? Because they're like, we're not going to believe the internet because we're too smart for that.
Yeah, that's true. We're going to believe everything you read online.
We're going to deduce and see what we can find out. Yeah. See, that's logic. Which is
so many childhood memories.
It's so cute though. I remember asking Mum once, I was like, what about the kids in Africa? And she was like, well, they'd get special African gifts.
I have two quick, really. Please. One really quick story.
Yeah.
My aunt married into a Canadian family, and so they have a place in Calgary, and we went one Christmas. My family actually bought a house next door to the family in-laws.
Yeah.
So we if we want to spend Christmas with snow, we go over to Calgary. And so we just bought this house from these people called the Donkersgirds. I don't know why I remember. I just thought the name was hilarious. And I wake up in the morning, and somebody had cooked on the stove. Somebody had made food, and I was like, it's Christmas Day, and I was like, Santa Claus has been here. Ooh,
Santa Claus was hungry.
Santa Claus was hungry. And then I was like, ooh. And then my mom's video camera was missing. So my mom came downstairs and she was like, where's my video camera? I was like, I don't know, maybe
Santa Claus must have taken it too.
It turned out that somebody broke into the house, cooked a meal, and stole my mom's video camera. Like, I thought my mom was playing dumb because I knew at this point that Santa Claus wasn't real. I thought she was playing dumb. She's like, no, seriously, Cassie, did you see anyone? And I was like, yeah, it was Santa Claus.
I saw her, Mum.
No, like literally, like my mom had this big video camera because she used to be a reporter. She had like a proper, not like a camcorder, like a proper.
No, like the
film camera. I was like, Mommy, the police were there.
It's gone. There was Santa.
They were checking the CCTV. It was fucking insane. It turned out, though, it wasn't that creepy. It was the person who used to rent the flat, the house, he got drunk and he stole the keys
and thought it was.
He came home and he slept with it. And, we cleared it all up. But it was a weird story. So.
Oh, that's all right. Well, on that wonderful note, guys, we've come to the end of our show. If you liked our show, please be sure to hit us up on Facebook at facebook.com/You Can't Sit With Us HK. If you want to reach out to any of us personally, my Instagram is Pericat, PERRIEKAP. On Twitter,
I'm Cass at CASSIT. And on Instagram, I'm Cassandra2Swags. If you guys can spell that, you can follow me.
Beautiful, guys. So we hope you have a wonderful weekend. Please drink a lot, have a lot of fun, and if not, stay in bed with your cat because we will be doing exactly that. So cheers and see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
以前我好怕做運動， 好怕整濕個頭，俾人見到我小頭髮。而家唔會咯。以前我好怕見舊朋友，當唔再為頭髮煩惱嘅時候，信心自然就會返嚟。如果你要揾返呢份信心，佢有辦法。
美斯，頭髮有髮
M 字額，拜拜。
經錯過我哋精彩嘅節目，而家上嚟呢個網址就可以訂閱晒我哋8大頻道，付費之後仲可以重溫晒所有精彩嘅節目。記得要訂閱我哋嘅 YouTube Channel 同埋讚好我哋嘅 Facebook 專頁啊！